He's trying to be able to go across. Little glance over his shoulder, seeing what kind of reaction. A lot of riders sitting in. They know it's a lot of racing to go. They know it's a long time before the finish. They want to stay rested as possible. Cycling is a game of patience. Reading the race and saving your energy, and that's right now is what these riders are thinking about doing.
Run your group back through. 3 guys, call it 4 with a little look on the front here. This one's going to be aggressive early on here. Already getting to it. And a sold-out 1-2 field here. Now, there's going to be 2 stories of this race early on. It'll be the guys at the front and the guys at the back. Now, early in the race, there are 2 types of riders at the back of this bike race. There's going to be guys that are back there because they want to be there, and there's going to be guys that are back there because they have to be there. Now, why do you want to be at the back of the bike race? Well, that's where the biggest draft is. If you're trying to save energy in this race, you would much rather be behind a big group of 80 guys than sitting at the front behind maybe 2 or 3 guys. And so you have a massive draft sitting at the back. If you're smart and you know what you're doing, those guys at the back only have to do about 40% of the work that the guys at the front are doing. Now, it's a gamble to be at the back because if a gap opens up in front of you, that is now your problem, and you've got to figure out how to close that gap. So you'll see riders that are surfing the back. You're also going to see riders that are sitting at the back looking like they're thinking about selling their bike on Craigslist when they get done with this one. You'll be able to tell the difference between the 2 types of guys. One will look super smooth, you'll see them coasting, and one will look like they're going through something outlawed by the Geneva Convention. So you'll be able to tell which one is which. Just take a look at the guys on the back. But I can already tell the racing going on out there. There is going to be some riders in serious trouble early on here tonight. Richard Bergeron for the VeloVit team, setting tempo on the front. So you can tell which one was which at the back of that group, right? Pretty easy to tell which riders are having a good time and which riders not so much out there. All right, front of the group, about to make their way up and around the final turn. One guy away, just dangling off the front. Let's make this interesting with a $100 cash preem on the line next time through. Attention riders, $100 cash preem on the line to the winner of the next lap. 100 cash on the line, guys. 100 cash, 100 cash, full race, 100 cash. If you can stay away, $100 cash on the line to the winner of the next lap. Robert Oehler, the guy in the front of the bike race, just shot me a death stare as he came across the line because he realizes that breakaway is not going to be lasting long as he's about to have 60 hungry guys about to catch him for $100. So I think Oehler was trying to get something started. Now, though, he can try and make the best of it in this scenario and see if he can hang on and at least take away $100. I might need an escort to my car tonight.
$100 premium brought to you Bicycles of Tulsa. Hey, if you lost an iPhone in the Porta-John, if you happen to have lost your iPhone, actually it doesn't have to be in the Porta-John. If you lost an iPhone, period, come on over here. It's all in Spanish, so got to be able to open it up. If you lost an iPhone, come over to the announcing stage. In the meantime, a lot of racing to go. 45 minutes for our Category 1-2s. 120 riders on the start line. We just ring a bell. $100 up for grabs. Money, 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 cha-ching. That's what he's thinking right now. That's going to be $100 in his pocket. He's yelling at Brad, not a happy camper.
No, I think he changed his tune. He said, this is fun. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep giving me free money on the front.
Robert Oehler picking up that preem. Now the decision is, does he keep going? Oehler, look at him, head down. He does keep going. Turns his head over, has a little bit of fun with the announcers on stage, and then gets right back to serious work. Little flick of the shoulder from the leader in the main group, and nobody wants to be able to come by. Again, a game of patience, a game of saving energy. That's what many of these riders are doing right now. Sitting in the middle of the group, it's practically easy riding around this course, but if you're off the front, a ton of work is involved to maintain 28 miles an hour.
Oehler still away here. Gap growing.
Coming out of Indiana, Robert Oehler right now with about a 2-second lead. He wants somebody to come up to him.
Every time by, he's up here asking for a preem. That's not how it works, Robert.
Micah Sanchez leading the lead, doing a good job trying to be able to get up there. We already gave him one preem. We can't just go back to back. Look at the damage being done, though. Oehler doesn't realize it. He is about to split the main group. We're going to have 20 riders coming right out of the back. 125 riders on the start line. I would say in the next 3 laps, we could go down to only 100 left and still a lot of racing still to go. Right now, still showing the time. 45 minutes, that time will stay up there until we switch over to laps. Once we switch to laps, then the riders will know exactly how much longer to race, how many laps to go until they get to the finish.
Look at this. New group on the front. Oler got some company, and then his company left him behind. Solo move rolling off the front here. Okay, all right. Frank Taberzi for the Meta Normal Cycling Club out of DC. Riding solo off the front here.
Taberzi glancing over his shoulder a few times, more concerned about what's coming up after him, and right now it looks like the entire field, though he does have a 10-second gap. A lot of comfortable faces sitting in this group. Remember these Category 1-2s, they're experienced. They know tactics and strategy. They've been racing for a while. These guys have been racing, so they are fit. Riding for about 15 minutes in a bike race going at 25 miles an hour, no big deal for them. They're going to be able to sit in, they're going to be able to wait, and they're going to be able to make their mark a little bit later on in this race. But for Taberzi, he decided to strike out early and strike out long.
This rider going to wrap it up early. Nice job out there. And this is why you can see your notorious Don Thornton Automotive Group pace car rolling its way down the line. Taberzi growing the gap here. And the field going to work together to chase him down. So now Taberzi versus the world, just over 14 minutes in, trying to do the impossible here.
Riders' lap cards are up, 17 laps to go. Lap cards are up, 17 laps to go. So the 28-year-old out of Washington, D.C. right now, head down, trying to be able to expand on a 6-second gap. 17 laps to go. We've seen it done before. In our Category 3 race, we saw a rider going solo for 25 laps. Taberzi doing a lot of coasting right now. Not sure if he had a problem or if he decides, you know what, these guys are chasing too hard. I'm going to sit up, I'm going to save my energy, I'm going to get reabsorbed because the field shutting down that gap extremely quickly.
All right, they're going to shut that breakaway down as we hit the reset button up on the front. Primal Audi setting tempo up there. Guys coming out of Denver, Colorado, taking back over on the front. Seeing some riders going down if you're watching on the big screens or the live stream at home. Looks like Plenty of riders getting tangled up here. Now remember, the free lap rule will apply to these riders. If these guys that went down in the crash want to get back into the race, they will be able to roll back through here, go into the pit, and then they'll jump back into the race next time it comes through, if they're able. And it looks like those guys still getting untangled. Meanwhile, front of the bike race, up and around the final turn. Little split starting to form here. Look at this.
Nice
this has
here.
all the makings of a good breakaway right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys going clear right now. And now the panic bells start ringing. How about Sound Pony Triumph Bank with Liam Bartman having a go at it?
Whatever's happening in that main field right now, alarm bells should be going off because this is a very strong group.
Yep.
6 riders right now, and look at the chase is on, but it's not concerted. Riders are split up all over the course.
Nice. Bartman made it across. One of the Sound Pony guys in there, right there on the blue bike, number 211, Liam Bartman. Now another one trying to go across the gap. That's 319 trying to join the breakaway as we watch Hogan Sills have a go at it.
Big group of riders right now coming out of the pit area as they get ready to be able to re-enter the race. Wow, holding them till the very end, putting them right into the back of the group. That's why it's not an advantage to be able to go into that pit area. But 6 riders now trying to be able to separate themselves.
Well, some tough luck for Robert Oehler. Remember the guy that was attacking earlier on laps 1 and 2, just rolling through the line here. Now, Oehler came through with the mechanical. It was a dropped chain. That does not qualify him for a free lap. In order to receive a free lap, something has to break on your bike. It's got to be something that is beyond your control, which means either a crash or something going physically wrong with the bike, a flat tire, a broken chain, a broken spoke. Dropping your chain is a rider mistake. That's something that could have been avoided, and so you don't get a free lap for that one. If something is loose on the bike, that doesn't qualify either. You should have tightened that before you took to the start line. So Oehler now going to have to fight back as he comes in what will be a lap down here. Showing 13 to go on the counter. Group still trying to get this one dialed in as the field about to make the catch and hit the reset button back there. These guys going to wrap things up. You're all done. Nice job out there tonight. Don Thornton Automotive Group pace car up and around the final turn. Another split forming off the front. Let's make things interesting here with a $200 cash preem. Attention riders, $200 cash, $200 cash preem riders, $200 cash on the line, $200 cash on the line. To the winner of the next lap, $200 cash preem. Well, just as that split getting started on the front, we're going to test the patience of those guys, or at least test the cooperation of riders in the break here with a $200 cash preem coming courtesy of the Tulsa Tough Volunteers, some of the best in the country, and they put together $200 for our 1-2 field out there. First guy across the line next time through going to be $200 richer, courtesy of our Tulsa Tough Volunteers.
Yeah, like Brad was just saying, we're going to test that cooperation, testing the relationship, because right now they're all working side by side. They're helping each other to be able to stay away from the chasers. They need each other's help. It's got to be 5 horsepower against an entire group of about 100 riders, but look how it is strung out. One long line. What an incredible move. One rider in the pink jersey getting about a 3-second gap. He comes around that final turn looking for $200. He's going to keep going. He's not going to slow down. $200. Excellent job. That's going to Spencer Miller.
Well, now we'll see if Miller's going to try and keep rolling this one. He already did the work to get a few seconds off the front. Does he try and cash in on that? Meanwhile, big gaps starting to form in this group. This is why you don't hang out at the back of the bike race, and these guys are now paying for it.
Spencer with a little glance over his shoulder. He's been reeled back in. So group's going to be all back together with 11 laps to go. Now, we saw it in the Masters race. Different teams with the same colored jerseys all getting closer together, cooperating and coming up to the front. Will we see the same thing in our category 1-2? Are teams going to be able to get together to try to do a lead out, perhaps to be able to save it for their sprinter? There are some riders in this race that are very, very fast. They want to wait for the final 200 meters. Other riders, they're long distance. They want to go from a long ways out. So very different characteristics of many riders that are in this. And right now, these next 5 laps are going to play out how this race is going to end up and finish. Riders 10 to go, 10 to go, 10 laps to go. Lap cards are up, 10 laps to go, 10 laps to go. Kyle Cooper. So Kyle's on that Team 6 team out of California. They're going to have a couple riders in our Pro Men's Race Team 6 definitely representing a little bit later on, as he finds himself now with 2 riders on his tail. So 3 riders starting to separate themselves. Last lap, that gap was about 3 seconds. Now going up to about 5 seconds. They're getting ready to see 9 laps to go. 3 riders on 3 separate teams, all with one common goal. They're trying to drop everybody behind them, and look at them. The field spread out across the road. A great sign for the breakaway as they get ready to come through that final turn, and they're going to be seeing 9 laps to go.
Yeah, this is perfect timing in the race for these guys. But remember, they need to cooperate for at least the next 5 or 6 laps to stay away from the rest of this group. So they've still got to work together here at 9 laps to go. Make a little noise for them. Fourth rider got on. Now these guys trying to figure out what to do. They're working together. This guy trying to flick the elbow and getting no help from the Team 6 rider behind him.
That was Dylan Hubbard on the front right there, trying to be able to bring them back. What a bridge, though, by Oscar Quiroz, number 305. He's in the red jersey who just made it across the gap. Another rider in that front group is going to be Randy Lee from Pegasus Premier. We're also going to see Kyle Cooper in that front group, and we are going to see Samuel Aiken in that front group. Aiken out of Kentucky, only 21 years old. Kyle Cooper out of California, talked about him earlier. He's almost 40 years old. Randy Lee out of Texas, 36 years old. And Querez, 29 years old, out of South Carolina.
Well, that explains why the Team 6 rider at the front of the field wasn't doing any work, because his teammate Kyle Cooper is up there in the breakaway. So if you've got a rider on your team in that front group, it then becomes your job to basically go as slow as possible, because if my guy is up the road in the breakaway, I'm going to try and slow down that big group so that my teammate up the road can put a little more time into the breakaway. So a lot of times what you'll see is teammates of the guys in the breakaway get to the front of the main field and then just pedal a couple miles an hour slower than they know their guy up in the breakaway is doing. So if these front guys are doing 27, 28 miles an hour, the teammates will get to the front of the main field and just do 25 or 26. It's only a little speed difference, but that's enough to give these guys a few more seconds into the breakaway here as we take them down to 8 laps to go on the counter.
That's Querez saying, let's rotate, let's keep it going. Team 6 comes onto the front right now. Big strategy and big decisions need to be made in the main group. Remember, there are probably 80 riders sitting in. They know if they start doing the chasing, they're not going to have anything left at the end. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to sit in. They're trying to rest. They're trying to wait. They're trying to get somebody else to do the work. It's like delegating. When your father tells you to take out the trash, you turn and tell your sisters to do it. Look at them spread out across the road. The field not showing any interest. This plays into the hands of the breakaway. What an incredible move. They are getting ready to see 7 laps to go.
Well, this break doing a perfect job. The field, not so much. These guys will be happy to know that the field is not cooperating to bring them back. They're just starting to get organized on the front of the group here at 7 laps to go, but these guys are starting to fall apart as well. Look at Cooper looking over saying, why'd you let that gap open up, man? I thought we were all on the same page here.
Gap was 9 seconds on the front right now, bringing them back. That is going to be Antonio Torres. So Antonio Torres on Team Mike Bikes committing himself. 9-second gap last lap. What's it going to come down to? Man, that was a close call right there. Samuel Aiken in the pink jersey coming off, and almost running into the back of him was Oscar Quiroz. The fatigue starting to set in, the heat taking its toll, the mental function, the stress, the anxiety, all starting to be able to play into their bike handling capabilities as that gets a little bit less lap after lap, leading closer to the finish.
Well, looks like these guys about to get reeled back in on the front as we're going to take them down to 6 on the counter. We're also going to bring up our next preem of the night here. Got $100 courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. Frankie's out finding an honorary bell ringer as we get ready to ring these guys up for $100 next time they come through. So they're going to get the bell right now, and then the lap after this, they're sprinting for $100 courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. Group all back together. Frankie, get that bell ready. Let's ring these guys up for $100 cash. Attention riders, 100 cash. 100 cash on the line. $100 cash preem. 100 cash riders, $100 cash. 100 cash to the winner of the next lap. Cash preem on the line.
Last lap riders all together. Kate, my official bell ringer for that preem, $100 on the line. We're going to see what's going to be able to happen. Guarantee they are going to be sprinting for this. No cooperation. It's all going to be about speed. It's all going to be, you want to come home with something. You do not want to come to the bike race and end up getting away with nothing in your pocket. So a little bit of insurance, that's what this $100 is all about. Flying solo. 5 laps to go, and that's the insurance policy he wanted. It's $100 in his pocket. Oh, I think that's going to be Tommy Fang going up the road.
Yep, confirming Fang for Team 6, trying to get away solo here. Picked up the preem, but he's got bigger ambitions in mind for this move.
Tommy Fang, the 26-year-old that was away last lap, picked up that preem, tried to be able to stay away, but the speed just too high. Brad, all signs right now are pointing towards a field sprint. This is a sprinter's dream, having the opportunity for that mad dash to the line here in Tulsa Tough.
Look at this reset happening on the front right now. It is back to anyone's race as Samuel Aiken leads the way through for the Apex Cycling Team, presented by Old Fort. So now this becomes a game of positioning into the final sprint. These last 3 laps will be all about defending your position near the front and trying to drop yourself off in the perfect spot out of the last corner on the last lap. 9-time Tour de France finisher Frankie Andreu up here on stage with me. Frankie, take me through these last 4 laps. If you're stuck in this chaos, how do you stay at the front of this bike race?
You need to constantly kind of watch over your shoulder. You want to be able to stay in the top 10 and on that last lap be able to move up. If you're 30 riders back and you think you're going to move up with 1 lap to go when you're going 30 miles an hour, it's not going to happen. So right now, a fight for position, rubbing elbows, bumping shoulders, that's what's taking place from now all the way to the finish. Big advantage if you could have some teammates. Oh, rider down right in the middle of the group, a little hit of the wheel. He's not going to be able to get a free lap. He's okay running off to the side of the road. I think a little bit more a bruise to the ego than a bruise to the body, as that is going to be Nicholas Yates from the Mustangs. So he is not going to be able to finish as there's no more free laps, and that's something the riders need to keep in mind, right? What kind of risks are you willing to take? Because if you crash, you're going to have no chance at trying to be able to score points for the Omnium, the overall, or being able to win here in Blue Dome. Riders, 3 to go, 3 to go, 3 to go. Oh, on the front right there. That's Spencer Miller, Apex Cycling Team in the pink jersey. Speed's going to gradually pick up, 25 miles to 28 miles an hour till that final lap. If you, again, teammates are going to be ever critical. You can have somebody sacrifice themselves. That's exactly what's happening right now on the front. Spencer drilling it for anybody that's in the back on his team. So keeping the speed high, trying to prevent anyone from taking a flyer. That's the objective for the riders on the front right now, but all riders flying in as they're getting ready to see 2 laps to go. Tulsa, you need to be able to give them some encouragement. You need to be able to make some noise. It's our category 1-2s.
All right, here we go. Front of the group, all back together, down to 2 laps to go. Tulsa, help them out, make a little noise at 2 to go! Well, now you're going to see a lot of guys coming unglued off the back here as, again, this is a blistering pace being set on the front. Any mistake into these last laps will get you off the back of this race. You have to be perfect heading into the final couple laps of racing because even the smallest mistake can find you on the backside of this bike race. So these guys paying for some earlier mistakes, maybe paying for some fitness, some heat, as they're going to wrap things up here. All right, leader is going to be getting the bell for 1 lap to go. Frankie back on the prowl, looking for our official bell ringer here, heading into 1 to go in our men's 1-2 race. Oh, getting chaotic on the front. These guys all over the road as they try and dive into these corners. Again, it's all about positioning heading into the last lap here. There are good places and bad places to be in this bike race. The first 10 spots are the good place. Anywhere else is the bad place to be as we take them down to 1 lap to go. Here we go, Tulsa. 1 lap to go. Oh, and look at the chaos on the back of this race. It is over for a lot of these guys. 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go. Want to go for these guys as well. Everybody get a good bell for 1 lap to go. You'll all finish next time through. Keep it up, guys. Keep going. 1 to go. Oh, man, these guys are cooked. Well, they don't call it Tulsa tough for nothing. 1 to go, guys. 1 to go.
1 lap, and it's broken into 20 different groups. Look at this. Incredible. We're about to find out who's going to be the fastest riders. Those pink jerseys doing a fantastic job. I gotta say, unbelievable. Meta-Normal Cycling Club. There they go on the side. Looks like the Mustangs are launching out. The red jerseys of the Mustangs trying to be able to go through. That's 2 to the final turns, and right now they stayed upright. Here they come. The lead out actually being prepared for Dante Young. So that's a guy in 2nd place.
These guys railing into the final corners. Young gonna find a wheel out of the last turn. Will they get to the line? No, they're gonna hold on as 319 will take it on the line. A huge win out of the field sprint for Hogan Sills from the Apex Cycling team.
Hogan Sills with an incredible ride. In 2nd place is Dante Young. A great ride. Unofficially, not sure who 3rd was as that came down to a bike throw. Rest of the riders coming through on a hot, hot Tulsa day.
Yeah, keep those cheers coming for these guys. It was a tough night in Tulsa tonight, but these guys made it to the final lap. Mission accomplished as we get ready for the next 2 days of racing here at Tulsa Tough.